Hi folks, it is time for another video, so welcome to Michelle Reads a Lot of Fantasy. Or in other words, Michelle buys a lot of fantasy. So, I will admit, I have a problem. So I have been go this process of trying to get my TBR down to zero because this is my total TBR. So this is like all genres and everything. But I decided to do something so stupid. So I don't feel any shame. And that is to see how much fantasy I could actually get. Now, I don't have any money at all. I don't have any money for right now. I just got back to work and I am not going to have some money for a bit. Not too long, for a bit. Now, before I begin my confession of what I have done, I am going to be doing fantasy reading vlogs. And they're not going to be on the same day um, every week. They're going to be on different days, on a different day each week, depending on my schedule. So, like tomorrow afternoon, I start my new job. So, this is actually the only day that I can do it. And my goal is to do content like once a week. So, mainly my reading blogs and any kind of fantasy books that I get, which 9 out of 10 they will always be books I've already read. So, because I'm trying to get my TBR down to zero, total TBR zero, but with me buying Kindle fantasy books, that may not happen. That may not happen. As far as digital books are concerned. Physical, I'm on the road to getting that down, but digital, no, never will happen. So I'm sorry, I can't help it. I can't help it. People, they went over to Kobo and all the stuff, and the fact that I didn't spend any money on these books, though there's always a fear in the back of my head that Amazon is going to, like, suspend my account because of how many free ebooks I got, but thankfully they haven't. So, very, very happy about it. So, alright. So I will be telling you the title of these books, but I will not tell you what the books are about, except for the one I'm reading right now. I do love the fact they offer free fantasy books because it allows you to read a author's work and then decide if you want to get the next book, which of course you will naturally pay for. Sometimes authors will allow you the first 2 books of a series, or they will let you have an entire box set for free. The beauty of Kindle. I love it. So, I went hog wild because I gotta have my fantasy, okay? I gotta have my fantasy. Anyways, so as my first fantasy reading vlog, I am going to tell you the title of the books that I got, but not what they are about, except for 2 of them I'm currently going through. Alright, so the one that I am currently, please stop, is Sword of the Seven Sins. This is a dystopian fantasy romance kind of book, and right now she's only published 5 books. And this is from Emily Colin. So, this, as I said, this is a dystopian fantasy romance, the first book of 7 books. And I already have the physical edition on my cart because I'm on chapter 17 of this book. Oh my god. Woo! Hot and heavy. So yes, it would be considered to be a romantasy, but it is with a dystopian twist to it, which I will say is doing it a lot better than one other book that I'm not mentioning on this channel. People's like, dang, you're an angry person. Oh yeah. Okay, so Sword of the Seven Sins is about a world in which sin is punishable by death. Not children, adults. So children can essentially do all the so-called sinning they want, though there is punishment for them as well. But adults cannot. Adults cannot give into what by nature they can do. Like, you can't have, you can't have sex in this world. Okay? You cannot have sex at all. It's called fornication. It is a sin. You have a woman who was convicted of, was it pride, I think it was? Oh, I forgot what her crime was, but her eyes were sewn shut, and my stomach did a twist. This is why my mama said, God rest her soul, she said I would never be a doctor. They sewed her eyes shut with the very thing that she uses. Needle and thread, people. Needle and thread. Gluttony. This one woman, there is a food, sorry, not food, there is a book allotment. There's only a certain number of books you can take out, which would suck for people like me. She got caught, and she was found guilty of gluttony. I only thought gluttony dealt with food, but apparently it deals with books. This is a dystopian world where people are brainwashed from the very beginning to go against their very nature. It's nature of mankind to lie, to want everything. Wide variety of different things. It is human nature, and they try to control that nature. And then it even goes as far as controlling human reproduction. This is a futuristic, dystopian world with magic, which is awesome. And they have babies in test tubes, and then they implant it in the woman. And the child may not even be genetically related to the woman, which is often 99.999% of the time. Then there are people known as natural born, and these are people that were conceived through nature, like how your parents had you. And you have these two characters that are drawn to each other, and they are they get hot and heavy. But if they are caught, their heads will be chopped off. This is a fucked up world. This is different from any romantasy that I've ever read. And there's like 41 chapters in this book, and I'm on chapter 17, and I'm like, I want to continue to at least 21. Then I'll have like 20 chapters to go, and I will finish this book like later on today, or maybe beginning of tomorrow, but it's really good, and I am so loving it. I'm probably going to do this in 2 parts because I can only do videos up to 15 minutes, so yeah. Alright, getting down to the books that I did in fact get for free. So we have from M.E. Waite, Reflection, Book 1. I don't know, I can't see what series it is. Then it says Diversity is Common. This is a fantasy anthology from a wide variety of different fantasy authors. This is definitely not your atypical, like, fantasy book. Then we got, I can't see the title. Okay, it's Grace and Drawl, the Grace Trilogy, Book 1. Then I have Nightcat and Surprises. This is Kitty Castle, which sounded really cute. Then I got a 3-book trilogy entitled the Undria Land books 1 through 3 includes Undria Land, Nilken, and Frostgrim. Let's see here. A Lion Witch, Book 1. Truth Decay with a Side of Fae. That sounded like a fun title. Fangs and Frenemies. So, let's see here. Okay. I also got Blue Dragon by Rebecca Shelley. Frostborn, the Grey Knight. It's 4 books. Fangs and Frenemies is by Sierra Cross. A Lion Witch is Odette C. Bell. Tooth Decay with a Side of Fae is Victoria Rokas. See, I've got a lot of women here. Flames of Chaos by Emilia, can't see it. Then I've got Magic and Matchmaking by T. Harlow. The Shatter Court by M.J. Scott. I got a 6-book, sorry, it's not 6, not 6 boot, 6-book, 6-book set of high fantasy. Cage by Mac Flynn, and Dragon Blood, books 1 through 3 by Lindsay something. Okay. Yeah. So that's what I picked up. Okay, so looks like I got some time. So the second fantasy book that I'm reading is more physical. It is Dungeon Crawling Carl. I'm currently listening to it on audiobook, and I got off of Libby Her Majesty's Royal Coven, and that was, I think I did a video about that. I'm not exactly sure. So yeah, I'm also, I'm also reading Royal Assassin by Robin Hobb. Yeah, so I'm reading Royal Assassin by Robin Hobb and Her Majesty's Royal Coven by Juno Dawson. So the woman who does the audiobook, she's British and her voice sounds beautiful. Begin to Dungeon Crawling Carl on audiobook. I'm listening to it on my Audible app. It's about a guy called Carl and Princess Donut who enter this dungeon because of this alien corporation that's coming in to mine. And yeah, it's insanity. I'm going to do a whole video after this one to basically talk about Dungeon Crawling Carl, but this book is insanity and it needs its own video. Alright, so I will be back in the next video, and after that I will see you guys when I do another fantasy reading vlog. Bye, and keep reading.